thing to earn that type of provision and protection from you. See, we skip it to
She
marriage.
made the
And I'm a
same
married woman,
promise.
so I'm not going against you. What I'm saying
She
is
made the
this.
same promise.
No, okay, what I'm saying is this, Saul. A lot of times when we have these conversations, we exempt that we have to get to marriage, right? It's a lot of people that's not married. So when I give my opinion, I don't do it from a married perspective because I know it's levels to this conversation, right? So the
Uh-huh.
only thing I'm saying is before we can even get to the ring, because a lot of sisters not getting to the ring, Saul. Let's be honest about
Yes.
it. If we're gonna talk about it,
Yes.
let's talk about it.
Let's
So
talk
in
about
order
it.
to get to that thing, what you just
Hmm.
described for your wife, and I honor that, in order to get to that,
Yes.
that sister had to show up in some way, shape, or form to make you place that bid on her for the rest of her life.
That
That's the
has
part we're
nothing to
skipping
do.
in this
That has
conversation.
nothing to do with marriage.
Okay.
Dating and marriage is two different things. You're going to be two different people. Do you think that you're the same person you was when you got married? No,
No.
you don't look the same. You don't feel the same. You don't talk the same. You don't walk the same. Ain't nothing same about you. I knew that when I married you, that you're going to change in 10 years. You're going to change in 20 years. You're going to change in 30, 40, 50 years. You're going to be repulsive at one point in time, but I made a dedication of my life to you till you pass away and you are nothing but skin and bones and you are shaking on your bed about to say your last breath and you did the same to me. But that's not what people think about when they get married. You think about now. What can this person do for me now? You don't think of the worst case scenario because you're not thinking as an adult. When adults think about marriage, they say, the worst case scenario, I'm going to do a risk assessment on this person. What is the worst situation and circumstance I could deal with? Most of y'all think of cheating. That is not it. The worst situation and circumstance that it could be is this person could be non-responsive forever for the next 30 years. And I got to ask myself, am I willing to take care of this non-responsive adult for the rest of my days? And do I believe she has the capability, the capability to do the same for me if something was to happen to me? And that is how I delegate. And that's how I evaluate the person that I'm going to give my last name and make my VP, because we're going to walk in this life expecting that if the other person falls, loses a foot, loses an eye, loses a lung, loses a kidney, loses the ability to talk, walk, fuck, and everything else, that they're going to stand in the midst of terror, in the midst of the bad days, the gloomy nights. This is the reason why I plan on marrying military, because this military woman has dedicated her life 22 years to the United States Navy, just like I did 22 years in the Marine Corps. She understands duty. She understands standing the watch during the times when everybody else is celebrating. She understands that putting herself first is not what adults do when they dedicate themselves to a duty. But unlike majority of you, you've never been in that situation and circumstance of your life.
So is that not transactional, what you just described?
I
Absolutely not. It is a
You
dedication to
just
duty.
described your wife
I
being able to
call
have the
that love.
capability
That's
That
all
to
is
it
do the
not
is.
love.
same
Hold
for
on,
you.
hold on. Let's let people speak. Go ahead.
Yeah, can I please go? I've been begging,
Now, hold
please.
on. We gonna let you in 2 seconds. We
Begging.
gotta try to let him finish his
He's
point so we can understand where he's coming from.
Okay, so just let us know when you land, and
I'll just land
then
with this last statement.
okay.
Duty to service has nothing to do with love, because sometimes you hate it. I hated being a Marine sometimes. I couldn't stand being out in Afghanistan getting blew up while y'all was leaning with it and rocking with it in the club with your spinner rims and all your jersey hats and jersey dresses and shit. I hated that shit. But guess what? I stood fast to the watch. I hated the fact that I missed my nieces and nephews' birthdays and my daughter's school recitals, but I stood on the watch. I understood dedication to duty, which some of you will never understand that because you've never been dedicated to anything but yourself. But I understand it because I've done it for the majority of my adult life. And that's the reason why a lot of men do not want to marry today, because it's not you that they're not wanting to marry, it's the trust of you. They don't believe that you can be dedicated to anything. You can't even stay dedicated to yourself. You lie to yourself every year. I'm going to lose this 30 pounds. And then you're back in line with the Krispy Kreme crunchy muffin cake crunch pops in your mouth again, because you can't stand duty. You have no initiative and you have no dedication to anything. I land.
Well, thank you, Saul. So one thing I have gathered about you over the months that I have interacted with you over several different lives is that you do not like women that are out of shape, and I mean that you're entitled to that, sir,
Humans.
Prince. Okay,
Humans,
you're
not
entitled to that
women.
preference, but it's just so funny to
Humans. I
hear
don't care
you
what your
talk.
gender is.
Listen, no, that's what I say. You don't. Okay, you don't like humans.